The High Tatra is the highest part of the Carpathian mountain range, and although Zakopane is located in one of its valleys, it is the highest town in Poland. I have Colin Phillips with me, an institution in British ski jumping, if I may say so.
Well, let's not exaggerate.
Well, credit where credit is due, sir.
I would have liked to start myself, but it wasn't meant to be.
Now that's what I call an effective start.
Yeah.
He seems to have used the right. He manages to end his flight, but not without a slight mistake.
Yes, it's always a bit of bad luck if you can't do a proper landing and have to correct yourself that way to avoid a fall. That is a...
Today finds us in Poland. We're in Zakopane. I have a special guest today, Colin Phillips. Would you mind me saying that it's a stroke of luck, in a certain way, that you're not participating in the competition today?
No, I take it as a compliment. I'm happy to be here too. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Literally got catapulted out of his shoes on me. He might make a good stuntman in the movies. But he has no hope of a top position in ski jumping with that performance.
No, not really.
The wind could hardly be better today. There's a slight upwind that might give our skiers wings.
Like Eddie the Eagle.
Yes, that was good. He found the right point for takeoff and did it properly. All that's required for a long flight. I think this is worth having a second look.
Yes, Mark, I think that a closer analysis is always worthwhile.
Even the weather is now eager to create perfect start conditions.
Yes, I can sense there'll be some record distances today.
I suppose we can have a look at the replay. Ah, there it is. So, do you have a favorite ski jump, Colin?
No, I couldn't say that. Every hill has its advantages. Of course, I'm always happy to start at home in England, but I also like visiting foreign countries.
Let's have a look at the replay. I can't quite see who's up there. Is it Adam Malish? No, but it is a Polish skier who's preparing for the start. Very nice takeoff. Nothing to criticize, am I right, Colin?
Oh, yeah, Mark. He made the takeoff at the right moment, a bit earlier or a bit later, and he might have failed. But not today. That was great stuff.
Excellent. Thanks to technology, we can look at the replay and be clear about things. Adam Malish always gets a very warm welcome here in Zakopane.
Of course, it's his home country.
Yeah, but the Polish literally worships this man.
Yeah, so they should too. He's great.
Now we get the chance to analyze all the jumps. The weather is really good today, so no excuse for the skiers.
That's right, Mark.
Colin, what's your comment on his takeoff?
Well, it looked good, I'd say. The transition from the crouch to the stretch position is one of the most important, maybe the most important moment in the ski jump.
Yeah.
He might go far. Let's just watch his flight.
The replay will show us now how on earth he was able to come up with such magic.
Yeah.
Ski jumping developed from downhill at the end of the 18th century. The inhabitants of a small town in the province of Norway called Telemark probably got bored by always just racing straight down into the valley, so they started to jump over small elevations. At least that's the story spun by the sports historians, but that's not what I would call a proper landing. I think the judges won't approve of that.
Pretty rough, right?
Let's take the time to look at the replay. How about the wind? There's a slight upwind at the moment. That's good for the distance. I think he'll rejoice again when he has a look at the video of this flight tonight. And his good performance was appreciated by the judges.
This will give him extra motivation for the next competitions.
Let's have another look at the replay. Maybe we overlooked some details.
It could be.
Am I wrong, or are we always in Zakopane these days?
No, it seems to me too. We were here just yesterday,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yes, right point for takeoff. Well done.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
You can see an upward trend in his performance, and I don't think there's one rival who still underestimates him.
You're right, Mark. But he hasn't beaten me yet.
Nope. Let's have a closer look at this jump in the replay.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see that.
Yeah. If we don't see any good jumps today, it won't be because of the weather. But of course, we expect the skiers to turn in some good performances.
Oh, well, I'll be expecting them to.
Oh, he's on his back. That's a pity, but things like that happen ever so often on landing. Probably he had a problem with his skis. Maybe they jerked at landing, and maybe you can't control them anymore. But it seems he got off lightly. Tell us your recipe for success, Colin.
Well, if you ask me, a jump is an extraordinary filigree system. The slightest imprecision, and you're out. So the thing is to avoid any mistakes.
Okay, and how do you do that?
Well, first, it has to become automatic. And that means practice, practice, practice. Secondly, you need concentration. That means mental strength. That's the crucial point, in fact.
Let's have a look at the replay. Have you ever considered a career in another discipline?
Yeah, I really did.
Which one?
Curling.
You're kidding.
No, always going up those towers is tiring. I sometimes wish I could stand on firm ground during the competition.
You're really kidding.
Should find it out.
I suppose we can have a look at the replay. Ah, there it is. Well, you can't complain about the weather today.
No, the weather conditions are perfect.
Now we get the chance to analyze all the jumps. It's high time that a pole makes it to the top again. Maybe this young athlete. What do you think, Colin?
Well, I've never heard of him, but I always like surprises.
Look at this. A very nice takeoff. Maybe he didn't exactly... Did you see that, ladies and gentlemen? He's lucky not to fall, but he'll get some point deductions, that's for sure. Thanks to technology, we can look at the replay and be clear about things. For all those who are not yet experts in ski jumping, I'd like to explain the point about hill size again. In the early days, the ski jumps were giving a so-called K-point, which means critical or calculation point. But as this point doesn't tell much about the actual size of the ski jump, the term hill size was introduced in 2004. But the distance points are still calculated in comparison to the K-points.
Wow, I could listen to you for hours, mate.
Thank you, Colin.
You're welcome.
I think this is worth having a second look.
Yes, Mark, I think that a closer analysis is always worthwhile.
The ski jump in Zakopane is near to the Velka Krokiev mountain. Could you say that 10 times in a row, Colin?
Oh, no, give me a break, Mark. And spare the public too, please.
He improves from competition to competition and from jump to jump. Let's see how far up he could get in the ranking.
You should go way up, Mark, I think.
Let's have another look at the replay. Maybe we overlooked some details.
It could be.
The wind is almost perfect, isn't it, Colin?
Well, yes, that slight upwind might help gain some meters. Couple of meters, maybe.
The replay will show us now how on earth he was able to come up with such magic.
Yeah.
Today we're in Zakopane, Poland. Colin Phillips, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the big names in British ski jumping. It's a great pleasure for me to have him here today. How are you doing, Colin?
I'm fine, Mark. Next time I'll be competing again, that's for sure.
We all hope that, and we keep our fingers crossed for you. Zakopane lies in the heart of a beautiful mountain range, which naturally makes it one of the most popular holiday resorts in Poland. I'm sure that not only fans of the British team will be happy to hear that my co-commentator today is Colin Phillips.
It's a very different experience watching an average
Hiding down the seat of your trousers, is it, Colin?
Is that an illusion, Mark?
Well, no, of course not.
Okay.
At the beginning, the posture was much more important in ski jumping than the distance.
No wonder, if you look at old pictures, the skiers are as straight as a ramrod, and they thrash their arms around like mad. I wouldn't call this aesthetic.
No. Today finds us in Poland. We're in Zakopane. Today I have Colin Phillips at my side, who will give us first-hand information about ski jumping. Hi there, Colin.
Hello, Mark. Seeing all that bustle around, I'd really like to go up there and jump myself. But this time I'll leave it to the other skiers.
Maybe you dreamt of a better distance when you sat up there in the start bar, but I think this was a decent performance.
Yeah, it was very good to look at.
Yeah. Let's take the time to look at the replay. I can't quite see who's up there. Is it Adam Malish? No, but it is a Polish skier who's preparing for the start. I don't want to exaggerate, but this score is close to a sensation. He exceeds all expectations.
Yeah, fantastic. Sensational.
Let's have a closer look at this jump in the replay.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that.
Yeah. An English tabloid spread the news that you're afraid of flying.
Who said that? No, that's a fairy tale. That's a malicious allegation, actually.
So it's not true.
No, well, the thing is, when I was a kid, I was afraid of heights. So my father took me to a ski jump and he said, if you jump down there, you'll never have to be afraid of anything.
And that was the beginning of the war.
That's right.
Oh. Now we get the chance to analyze all the jumps. Zakopane, the center of Polish ski jumping for almost 100 years now. I suppose we can have a look at the replay. Ah, there it is. A strong upwind. It couldn't be better.
Well, you know, I think this is a day for some very good distances.
Yeah, Colin. That's what we're all hoping for.
Yeah, it's true.
Not a big surprise, the score. That's entirely appropriate to his abilities. And knowing him, he'll be satisfied with it. Let's have a look at the replay. The sun's shining brightly. There's a slight upwind, a weather fit for heroes, isn't it, Colin?
Well, I'm sure we'll see some top performances today, Mark.
Yep. For a second, I was afraid he would flunk the takeoff, but he did it quite well.
Good job.
Yes, that's the way things go in ski jumping. You make a decent takeoff in flight, and then you mess it all up with a fall on landing.
That's terrible.
And that's the end of your dreams of a good rank.
But he was still lucky. He could have ended up with a serious injury.
Yes, he could. At first, ski jumping was a sport for amateurs. Commercialization only started in the 70s. From then on, the competitions were shown on TV so that people all over the world could watch them. It was about the same period that the number of professional jumpers increased significantly. Thanks to technology, we can look at the replay and be clear about things. Zakopane, the center of Polish ski jumping for almost 100 years now. Looks good in takeoff today. It could be a little more explosive and more powerful, but this is really an okay performance. You can live with that.
Yeah, you should be pretty pleased.
Let's take the time to look at the replay. The weather is as radiant as the fans. You couldn't hope for more.
Fantastic.
Let's have a closer look at this jump in the replay.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that.
Yeah.